news. Obviously, some big trades can happen, and there will still be some big free agency additions, but the free agency frenzy has cooled off a bit. So, picking up with where we left off at on Wednesday, our first new addition is going to be the Minnesota Vikings agreeing to terms with safety Harrison Smith to come back for his 14th season. I think that Vikings fans have to be in awe in their offseason at this point, just because defensively they have put together such a squad. They've brought in immense defensive help. You retain Harrison Smith, but you signed Javon Hargrave, you signed Jonathan Allen, you kept Byron Murphy, and you did lose Cam Bynum. You lost Sam Darnold, but you kept Aaron Jones. And was there one more? No, I guess that about sums up their free agency for the big guys. But defensively, they've brought in some real talent, and they've kept their biggest stars. So Sam Darnold, you live with that loss. I think all in all, they've been doing a good job, and this is yet another promising development for the Vikings defense. So, Brian Flores, he is going to have some weapons for next season. Next up, we move into our second new development, and actually it's not much of a new development, it's more like a reunion. We've got the Los Angeles Chargers agreeing to a one-year deal worth up to $6 million in value with free agent wide receiver Mike Williams. You would not believe the jersey swaps that are being put out for this guy. They are immaculate. But getting back to business, I think that it's a funny move, but it's a good move. You lost Josh Palmer. You get back a guy that you know Justin Herbert has some chemistry with. You let him explore the market. Didn't really work out in New York. He played a couple of games with the Steelers. Now he gets back to the old team that he was always on. And yeah, probably a win-win for both sides. He has wanted somewhere. He knows he's going to get good passes from Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert, though it's not an improvement, he gets back a weapon that he lost. So, yeah, great job by both sides finding this reunion. This is an interesting one. Next up, we have the 49ers signing quarterback Mac Jones to a 2-year, $7 million deal. It's interesting. You have Mac Jones last season getting a couple starts here and there for the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence out. I don't think he dazzled. I don't think that he did that great. He got a lot of attention with how happy he was in practice squads and in the practice sessions with the Jaguars. They're saying that they brought life back to him, and I do think that is true. I think that the Patriots were a stressful time for him. And now, with him joining the San Francisco squad, this is actually just a very interesting development for that draft class. Obviously, you have the 49ers taking Trey Lance at 3. Eventually, the Patriots are able to take Mac Jones way further down. And I, for a long time, thought Mac Jones was going to go at 3. I thought that was his value. That's where he should be going. So for him to slip all the way down to us, and for Trey Lance to pan out the way that he did, I was like, wow, we did it. We scammed. We cooked. Yeah, no, that's not how it worked out, but I'd say a good pickup. He's still young in his career. He can lead a team to the playoffs. He has done that once before. He is kind of unathletic. Yes, he does miss throws here and there, but I don't think that he's horrible. I don't think he's a horrible football player. I think that that he has made some cool throws. And I had a lot of hope in him early on. I think the thing that moves me the most about this signing is the fact that he is kind of in that stage of his career where Sam Darnold was. He hasn't been bounced around quite to the same level, but he got drafted pretty high by a team. Didn't quite work out. Then joins another team as like a backup other option, and now he goes to the 49ers as their backup. And Sam Darnold, this was just him 2 years ago. It signed with the 49ers, didn't really do anything for them, then signed with the Vikings, wasn't expecting to start, kind of got thrown into the starting role and completely revived his career. So maybe Mac Jones is trying to do a similar thing. Very clever. I applaud him for it. And I think even for the 49ers, this is a good move. If Brock Purdy is to go down, you now have a first-round draft pick that's not that old that you can tinker with. This is the same draft class that Brock Purdy was a part of. This is the same draft class that Justin Fields, who just signed a bunch of money for. It's a little too early to call it quits on all of these prospects. We haven't even seen Trey Lance actually get a real chance in the NFL yet. So all in all, it's good value for a very low amount of money. And who knows? Who knows what can happen? Maybe Mac Jones pops off and you don't need to pay Brock Purdy. I don't know. But it's a cool signing. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers agreeing to a renegotiated contract with Adam Thielen, wide receiver, so that he can return to the NFL for his 12th season. And Adam Thielen has been productive his entire career, even these last couple seasons. When he is on the field, I feel like he produces. Not this year, but the year before, he got out to such a hot start. And this past season, I think he missed a little bit of time early, but once he was back, he was still good. And I've always admired Adam Thielen for his ability to produce. I think that the Minnesota days with Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen were a cool time. It was just even though I'm not a Vikings fan in any way, I remember that being like an iconic duo. I liked that era of Minnesota football, so I still root for him. I hope that he has a good season, and yeah, happy for Bryce Young and the Panthers. Next up, we've got another reunion, kind of like, Mike Williams going back to the Chargers. Here we have the Pittsburgh Steelers agreeing to terms with quarterback Mason Rudolph on a 2-year, $8 million deal. Jeez, there's a little bit of loudness. This is... no, I shouldn't say that. Never mind. Anywho, Mason Rudolph now being the only quarterback that has signed a contract in Pittsburgh, possibly, because I know that they don't have Russell Wilson locked up. I know that Justin Fields is gone. Aaron Rodgers rumors are circulating. So you have Mason Rudolph. I think Steelers fans will legitimately lose it if they roll out day one with Mason Rudolph. So this has to be a joke. Anyhow, let's move forward, and a semi-interesting signing. I like it. I like it for them. We've got the Raiders signing running back Raheem Mostert to a 1-year, $2.1 million deal. Mostert, though he is old, he's definitely up there for a running back. You've got to consider that, like, 2 seasons ago, he had a phenomenal year already at a pretty late age. And I don't think that he has some injury history with the broken wrist and all, but I don't think that he was really a workhorse as early in his career. So, sorry, there's a comment that says, Ashton Sean, do you get ready to learn Chicagonese, buddy? is it like Amir Abdullah? What's his name? It starts with a Z. Samir White. He's the beefy one, the beefy guy. I'm forgetting his name. But yeah, they have a weak room. They definitely have a weak running back room. So you bring in a guy like Raheem Mostert on a cheap contract, even though he's up there. It's a 1-year deal. I think it's a great addition. It's a good job by the Raiders, giving Geno Smith someone to hand the ball off to. And I think he still has some speed. Yeah. Next up, we have the Eagles signing someone. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles signing cornerback Adoree Jackson. I don't know. If I'm the Giants, I would be fuming. Just based on the way that Saquon panned out, I would never want another Giants player to ever sign with the Eagles. I'd be very salty. And so, even though, I don't know about this edition in depth like that. I don't know that much about Adoree Jackson. Okay. Yeah, people in the comments saying, I already know the LeBron GIF is coming. And I was looking at that, wondering, like, which LeBron GIF? And then you scroll down enough, and it's LeBron on the Lakers going like, hey, yeah, I guess that is somewhat my reaction. Just, I'm not as familiar with Adoree Jackson. I've definitely heard of him. I want to say Adoree Jackson used to play for the Titans. Let's fact check. Let's see. Adoree Jackson. Yeah, he did used to play for the Titans and then for the Giants. I think since he went to the Giants, I have tuned out his career. But that's fine. Maybe the Eagles can bring him back to value. Yeah, that's really all I got to say. Next up, we have the Chiefs signing quarterback Gardner Minshew to a 1-year deal. It's a good move. I think that Carson Wentz as a backup in that one game against the Broncos, he didn't make any moves. He was not looking good. He's also at a really, really wash point of his career, and I don't think that you need a mentor for Patrick Mahomes. I think that Mahomes is doing fine. You probably do want someone that can come in if for some reason needed for like 1 or 2 games and make a few plays here or there. I think that the coaching staff is really good, and so you can take a guy like Gardner Minshew, who has had some good games under his belt, and yeah, he's an adequate backup. This is an ideal backup to have in the league. I do think that he is one of the better ones, and you have no quarterback controversy going on here. Obviously, last year, Aiden O'Connell was not a starter, so you have him and Gardner Minshew going back and forth. With the Chiefs, you don't have that question, so he's going to be a full-time backup, and I do think that is like a good place for him to be. Next up, we've got in other backup quarterback-related news, the Chargers are signing quarterback Tyler Heineke to a 1-year extension worth up to $6.2 million. I gotta say, I am disappointed, not because I hate Tyler Heineke. I actually think that Taylor Heineke has a cool story. That 1 year against Brady, when he was on the Commanders and he really popped off, I was rooting for him. I wasn't rooting for him to win the game, but I was rooting for him for a little bit after that. Things didn't really work out in Atlanta. He's not a starter in this league. We have come to find out. But the reason why I'm disappointed in this signing is because there's like an Instagram account out there by the name of like Easton Stick Fan, something like that. And I remember this from a while ago. I haven't actually seen the account in a minute. I don't know if they still exist, but it's just like an Instagram page dedicated to against the Raiders last year when they broke their franchise record in points, which is a little bit sad, but I guess Easton Stick's days are numbered. Disappointing. Tough blow as an Easton Stick fan, but we'll find a way to move forward. And the biggest development since Wednesday, we all have been wondering, where will Cooper Kupp end up? And we now know. I was speculating just a couple of days ago that it might be cool to bring on Cooper Kupp or Keenan Allen to the Patriots on a 2-year, $30 million deal. You can pull up the receipts. Those were my exact words. And that's almost exactly the deal that he ended up signing. It was a 3-year, $45 million deal. The AAV is spot on. That's the exact contract that I wanted, just for a little bit longer. So I don't know if I would have taken it, but the team that wins the Cooper Kupp sweepstakes is the Seattle Seahawks. Now, if I'm a Seahawks fan, I think that this helps soften the blow of some of the rest of free agency. You're losing a couple of free agents. There's a lot of turnover in the offense. But you sign Sam Darnold, you sign Cooper Kupp. Now, you still need an O-line. That is still the biggest concern. But with the departure of Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, adding Cooper Kupp makes that feel a little less bad. And you know that when it's all said and done, Cooper Kupp is going to give JSN the greatest route package known to man. I mean, he already blew up last year without that mentorship, and now he is just going to become a beast. So I think this is a cool duo, a cool tandem. Hopefully, Cooper Kupp can be a little more healthy than he was the last couple years with the Rams. And yeah, that'll be interesting. I also think this helps Sam Darnold quite a bit, because he was going to have to go from throwing to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison to just JSN, and I don't even know who the next wide receiver up is. I mean, I probably do know, and I'm just not able to think of it. But, Cooper Kupp, JSN, that's not a bad duo. So, good move by the Seahawks, keeping him within the division. Maybe he plays a couple revenge games, and it'll be interesting. I had something I wanted to say, but it's slipping my mind. Oh yeah, I was just gonna talk about the O-line. Yeah, it really is the biggest concern at this point. You do need an O-line pretty desperately, because without it, nothing really improves. But this does change my outlook on their free agency period. So you're back at an okay. Anyway, with that, we are fully caught up on everything from this free agency. So let's take a look at the NFL Network's top 100 free agents list and figure out who is left. So I'm going to do this a little bit rapid fire, since we've already covered most of these guys, if not all of these guys, in the last couple of days. So this will be a very brief refresher. And yeah, there will be a couple of discrepancies, because this was posted 2 days ago. So there have been a few more developments than what's being marked. But this is the free agency big board by NFL Game Day. So number 1, we had DT Milton Williams, who went to the Patriots. I will also interject every once in a while to disagree with rankings. I think that Milton Williams at 1 is kind of generous. 1, I'll take it. I mean, seeing as the Patriots got it, I'll take it. But I do think that is a generous placement, considering we have Zach Bond at 3. So Milton Williams at 1, he goes to the Patriots. Number 2, we have ones that actually hit free agency, he would be pretty high on this list. Chris Godwin, with no Deacons in free agency, kind of does fall into the wide receiver that is the best and youngest, or at the right age. But I do think 6 is a bit high. Number 7, cornerback Carlton Davis, who went to the Patriots. I think that's also a little high. Number 8, you've got Trevarius Ward. I think that's fair. Number 9, you have cornerback DJ Reed. I guess I don't know what his season was like last season, but I think that's a little low. Then we have at number 10, wide receiver Devontae Adams. I'm fine with that ranking. At number 11, we have wide receiver Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper is still unsigned. I think that 11 is a bit high. I just don't really care for what was going on in Buffalo. It seems like he wasn't really being utilized like that. Maybe that's him, maybe that's the team. But all in all, I thought that move was going to be way bigger for Buffalo than it ended up being. So I don't think that Amari Cooper necessarily needs to be at 11, but I know that he's also not that old. So, anywho, after that, number 12, we have center Drew Dahlman. Used to be the Falcons, now he's going to the Bears. At number 13, we have cornerback Byron Murphy re-signing with the Vikings. I think that's a fair ranking. At number 14, we have linebacker Trey Greenlaw, signing with the Broncos. Yeah, that's fine. At number 15, we have safety Javon Holland signing with the Giants. I think that Holland could be a bit higher, or higher on the list. Then number 16, linebacker Nick Bolton, solid. He's staying with the Chiefs. Number 17, guard Will Fries. He is signing with the Vikings. Yeah, another good pickup. At number 18, we have Hassan Reddick signing with the Buccaneers. That's a bit high after the season he just had. At number 19, we have quarterback Justin Fields. I think that's a bit too high for him, in my opinion. I think that it was coveted. I don't know if he was worth 19. At number 20, we have safety Trevon Moehrig signing with the Panthers. Then at 21, we have cornerback Asante Samuel Jr., who is still yet to be signed. Next up, we have at number 22, edge Khalil Mack, and he stayed with the Chargers. At number 23, we have edge Malcolm Kunze. I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly. I'm not going to try again. But yeah, he is going to the Raiders. Number 24, we have Justin Reed, who is signing with the Saints. At number 25, we have Ernest Jones sticking with the Seahawks. And so, as you can see, in our first 25, there's only 2 people who are still left unsigned, Amari Cooper and Asante Samuel Jr. Then at number 26, we have Cam Robinson, still a free agent. At number 27, we have Stephon Diggs, still a free agent. And at number 28, we have Devin Jenkins, still a free agent. Those are all pretty high up. I feel like Diggs probably ends up still in Houston, because after that injury, I don't know, you're not going to go learn a new system, rehab in a new place. Maybe he is, but I feel like he should take a little bit of a pay cut and stay with the team. Anywho, after that, at number 29, you have Javon Hargrave going to the Vikings. At 30, you have Levi Onwuzurike going to the Lions. You have at 31, Jamian Sherwood going to the Jets. At number 32, you have tight end Evan Ingram signing with the Broncos. number 33, you have Calais Campbell signing. I thought that he was re-signing with the Dolphins, but maybe I was wrong. This says he hasn't been signed. At 34, you have Bolson Adipo signing with the Giants. The Giants, low-key, they're loading up, Javon Holland and Bolson Adipo, both good additions, but I don't trust them to do better. Then you have number 35, center Josh Myers, going to the Jets. At number 36, you have Dayo Odeyingbo. Going to the Bears. You have, oh man, really? At 37, you have Kevin Zeitler going to the Titans. Okay. Gearing up for Cam Ward, maybe. At number 38, you have Aaron Jones staying with the Vikings. At number 39, you have Chase Young staying with the Saints. At number 40, you have Talanoa Hufanga going to the Broncos. I think that's a bit low. At number 41, you have wide receiver Marquise Brown staying with the Chiefs. At number 42, you have Darius Slayton staying with the Giants. I think both of those are a bit high. I think that they should not be that high on that list. Next up, we have number 44, Edge Aziz Ojuliari. You're gonna hear beeping in the background because someone is using the air fryer. Anyhow, Aziz Ojuliari, he is still not signed. Then we have number 45, Patrick McCarry, going to the Jaguars. Number 46, we have DeMarcus Lawrence going to the Seahawks. Number 47, we have Najee Harris going to the Chargers. I think that can be higher up. That's first running back on this list at 47. I don't know. I think that he can make a bit of an impact. No offense, but I definitely think that Najee Harris is going to make more of an impact on the Chargers than Darius Slayton is staying in New York. Anyhow, after that we have Jonathan Allen joining the Vikings. At 49, we have wide receiver De'Ami Brown going to the Jaguars. Yeah, this is crazy. Anyhow, after that, number 50, we have Dan Moore Jr. going to the Titans. They really put De'Ami Brown 2 spots below Najee Harris. Najee is not that bad. Number 51, Mekhi Becton, still unsigned. If I were the Eagles, I would stay on that, just because the tush push. How can you ever beat the tush push when all of them are that big? And now you have AJ Dillon. But the money is probably the biggest concern. Then at 52, you have Jaron Reed with the Seahawks. At number 53, you have Jameis Winston, unsigned still. At number 54, you have safety Cameron Bynum going to the Colts. I think he could be higher on this list. At number 55, you have Dershawn Wharton with the Panthers. At number 56, you have Russell Wilson, who remains unsigned. I have a problem with this. I don't think that there is a world in which Jameis Winston should be a bigger free agent acquisition than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is still a much better quarterback. Jameis Winston, though I love him as a personality, he is a turnover machine. I think that he is a great backup for a team that has no quarterback, but Russell Wilson is still a bona fide starter. This is unserious. This is not a serious list. Anyway, number 57, we have Joey Bosa. Okay. Number 58, we have B.J. Hill. Sorry, Joey Bosa is going to the Bills. We've got B.J. Hill with the Bengals. We have number 59, Dante Fowler. He is unsigned. unsigned. I wouldn't lock that back up if I were the Chiefs. At number 62, we've got the Packers with Nate Hobbs. At number 63, we have J.K. Dobbins, unsigned. At number 64, we have quarterback Jacoby Brissett, too high. Number 65, we have Harold Landry, going to the Patriots. Number 66, we have Rico Dowdle, going to the Panthers. Number 67, we have Jeremy Chin, signing with the Raiders. I think that he could be a bit higher. And then 68, we have Poona Ford, signing with the LA Rams. We have at number 69, James Daniels, going to the Dolphins. At number 70, we have Jordan Lewis, going with the Jaguars. At number 71, we have Ryan Kelly, going to the Vikings. At 72, we have Za'Darius Smith, who is still unsigned. At number 73, we have Mike Williams, returning to the Chargers. At number 74, we have Baron Browning, going to the Cardinals. Number 75, we have Jimmy Garoppolo, re-signing with the Rams. And we make it to our last 26 selections, last 26 free agents on this list. And there's a big stretch of unsigned ones. We've got 76, Justin Simmons, 77, Stephon Gilmore, 78, Kaiser White, 79, Rasul Douglas, and 80, Elijah Moore. Justin Simmons being 76 is crazy. Just 2 years ago, this guy was so good. I don't know. I feel like he still has good ball left in him. I don't think that the Falcons' defense was that bad. Gilmore came off a solid year with the Vikings, though I have been thinking he would fall off at some point, and he still has been performing, so I don't know. I can't really say anything. Kaiser White, I feel like he could also be a bit higher up. Rasul Douglas, I know he had a big comeback story for the Bills, the Packers, and then the Bills. I think it was a big comeback story for the Packers, and then the Bills got him. Elijah Moore, I think 80 is an okay spot for him. He could be lower. 81, Bobby Wagner. I don't agree. Should be higher. Brandon Scherf. Also feel like he could be higher. 83, Keenan Allen. Considering his age, sure. Number 84, Levante David. I guess, yeah, the fact that he's contemplating retirement. Fine. Julian Blackman at 85, unsigned. I thought it was a little bit better than that, but maybe I don't know. Daniel Jones at 86, going to the Colts. I think that's fine. Mike Gesicki staying with the Bengals at 87. Was Mike Gesicki the biggest tight end free agent on the market? That's crazy. What a horrible year for tight ends. It's just him and Juwan Johnson on this list. Jesus. Yeah, that's fine. 87 is fine. At 88, we have Marcus Davenport going to the Lions. At 89, we have Tyrod Dodson going to the Dolphins. At 90, we have Tyron Smith, unsigned. At 91, we have Mike Hilton, unsigned. At 92, we have Juwan Johnson staying with the Saints. The placement is fine, but geez. He's the second best free agent tight end. At 93, we have Chauncey Golston going to the Giants. At 94, we have DeAndre Hopkins going to the Ravens. At number 95, we have Jedrick Willis, who remains unsigned. At 96, we have DJ Jones going to the Broncos. At number 97, we have Aaron Banks going to the Packers. At 98, we have based on everything that we see here, who is winning free agency, the ones that come to mind are definitely the Vikings and the Broncos. I think that they've done a really good job of snatching up a lot of the big name free agents. I mean, the Vikings are on every page of this list multiple times. Page 1, they've got Byron Murphy and Will Fries. Page 2, Javon Hargrave, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Allen. I guess Aaron Jones was the top running back, not Najee Harris. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Then they get Ryan Kelly on page 3, and they get no one on page 4, but they've done well. They've done well. Then the Broncos, page 1, you've got Drake Greenlaw. Page 2, you have Evan Ingram and Talanoa Hufanga, who I think could be higher. No one on page 3. And page 4, you get DJ Jones. It's a solid haul. And outside of this, I'm trying to think. If you can hear laughing, those are my roommates in their room across the wall. I can't do anything about that noise. That is literally noise coming through the wall. Horrible time. I'm recording this at 6 p.m. on a Friday, and I guess I should have known better. I don't know. I don't know. I'm biased, but I'd give it to the Patriots next. I think these three teams are doing pretty well in free agency. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I think that a lot of people are having interesting free agencies. Some a lot more lackluster than others. But I think these three teams have geared up in pretty significant ways. Patriots haven't covered all their bases yet. I do think that... Oh, I haven't talked about this yet, but in my opinion, I do think that Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings is a good move. Because you think about the other teams that are interested in Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to give the Steelers anything that Russell Wilson didn't already give them. I think it's kind of like Wilson was in there, he was doing fine. If you take Aaron Rodgers, you're just taking an older Wilson with less potentially there. Because you know what your weapons are, and you know that Russell Wilson has already done well in the system. He's already familiar. Don't bring in a 42-year-old to lead this offense and then have him retire after 1 year. What is the point? You have no backup option after that. Keep Russell Wilson. You already got rid of Justin Fields. Keep Russell Wilson. If I'm the Steelers, I think it's a huge mistake to let Russell Wilson walk. Now, as for the Giants, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers to the Giants makes any sense. Because I saw some reports saying, like, they're pushing this agenda that, like, Rodgers throwing to Malik Neighbors has a good vibe to it. That's literally the report that I read. That is not going to help your franchise in any way. You brought in Malik Neighbors, and yeah, you unretired a number for him, obviously. He's going to play a big part in your future. You think he's just a wide receiver. I don't think, like, a wide receiver can't actually turn around your franchise the way a quarterback can. If I'm Malik Neighbors, yeah, I might be pushing to play with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, because I care about my stats, and he is a guy who can feed a wide receiver. We've seen Devontae Adams, so you might have a strong connection. But Aaron Rodgers just delays your franchise from actually rebuilding the way that you need to. Daniel Jones failed. You accept it. You accept that you fumbled on the Saquon signing and the Daniel Jones signing. You have a guy like Malik Neighbors. You have some guys on defense that you picked up that are good. Brian DeBoer is still a solid coach. You need a quarterback that is young to build this team around. You need to be in a rebuild. Aaron Rodgers, like, we just saw the other New York team try to do this with a better roster, and it didn't work. There's no way this is going to work out in your favor. This is going to crash and burn so hard if you're the Giants. I don't know why they're considering this. Russell Wilson, I think, is a bit younger. That's not as bad. I wouldn't be as mad for the Giants for pursuing Russell Wilson, but I do think Aaron Rodgers, it is crazy. It is a crazy idea. And that leaves. And now the Colts have already signed Daniel Jones. There's a quarterback needy team in the Vikings, and I think they're quarterback needy. Just in the sense that, like, I wouldn't want to run with J.J. McCarthy on day one, personally, after everything that he's been through. Yes, he will be medically cleared to play. He has been medically cleared to play. He will practice, he will get the reps, and he'll go up there. But still hasn't taken an NFL snap. Still, he's coming off a big injury. Quarterbacks that sit and wait tend to do well. See how Jordan Love has panned out. There's nothing wrong with bringing in a great quarterback like Aaron Rodgers for him to learn from. That Sam Darnold, as much as he was on this team and he was able to find success last year, that was not knowledge he could really pass on to J.J. McCarthy in a great way, because I think he was still picking it up. I think it's kind of like one of those things where, like, yes, he was able to provide some level of mentorship, but he wasn't brought in as like a veteran guy who has been around the league for a long time in the way that Aaron Rodgers could actually provide a real mentorship for J.J. McCarthy. I think him being able to train him up is a valuable aspect. I also do think that Aaron Rodgers throwing to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison is a cool idea. Reunite him with Aaron Jones. It's worth investigating. If I'm the Vikings, I would think it's cool. Because, yes, Sam Darnold did pop off. He had a great year. All this, all that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is that washed. I think that, yes, he had a bad year. He missed some easy throws. But on paper, his numbers weren't that bad. You bring him in to coach Kevin O'Connell. You give him his team and a short leash to start the season. Pull him when you think it's going under. Start your rookie quarterback. And if things go well, you can go on the same run. Imagine the defense you had last year with upgrades, and instead of Sam Darnold, you have Aaron Rodgers. For a 1-year window, I think that's keeping your 1-year window alive. Last year, you went on this amazing run. No one thought you were going to win the Super Bowl. I don't even think Vikings fans themselves thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. And I don't think that J.J. McCarthy is really going to, in year one as an NFL starter, take you past where Sam Darnold brought you. But I do think Aaron Rodgers could do that. I think that he could get this team to maybe not 14 wins, maybe they get to 11, 12 wins. But I do think Aaron Rodgers could win you a playoff game, and that would be further already. Aaron Rodgers, yes, he hasn't made the Super Bowl again, but for a final last dance, give him the full, complete package, the full Brett Favre career arc. It would be kind of poetic. It would be kind of cool. I am down to see it. I think it would be very cool to see Aaron Rodgers on the Vikings. And I'm rooting for it. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Is there anything else to really